Hey everybody, welcome. A few days ago, I posted a video on how would you make entry into a particular room that had some complications, some not out of the ordinary scenario. So let's go over it. I had some pretty good answers through Facebook and Instagram, and some private messages, some funny ones. Some guy said to just run in naked to surprise them, startle them. I thought that was funny. One guy said just frag it out, which never fails. But let's get into this. So here's the door that I proposed. It's actually on my house. So we have this door here, which is on a corner fed room, but it's also tucked into the inside corner here of this wall. We have this wall here and an outside wall here. So this is outside. This is actually my garage. This is inside my house. So this is the scenario we have. The problem is the door technically opens the wrong way for a corner fed room. It does drive me nuts, by the way, in my house. So instead of opening to the wall, it opens this way, which proposes a little complication trying to make entry. And it's also tucked into this corner here to where I can't have a guy stand here for security because he's in front of the door. We never ever stand in front of a doorway, right? Doorways are bullet magnets. Just avoid doorways, right? And if he was to stand here and watch, all he's going to see is this freaking wall here because it's opening the wrong way. So all he's going to see is this wall. So I had some people suggest that we would stack up on this side. My four-man stack to make entry into the door. Call for breacher. Breacher would come over. These guys would follow up. Number two man would breach a door, push it open. The problem with this is you're standing right in front of the door. You just put three guys in front of the door. Granted, the breacher can be off to the side as he pushes it, opens it. One guy suggested this. I don't like this idea just for the sole fact we're stacked up in front of a door. If you can avoid it at all costs, avoid it. Another scenario I got on was a stack up on the outside wall here. Everybody would flow up. This guy would breach a door. He would step back. As the door opens, these guys would come around and flow in. This guy'd come in last, right? The problem with that is a couple that I don't like. First off, it's taking extra time and extra steps to get into that room, and is violating one of the three principles of CQB, which is speed. He's taking all these extra steps to come in. Not a fan. And the other thing I don't like about stacking up here is say you did run this. This guy breaches the door, it opens, bullets start flying out the door, maybe through the wall. You guys are all lined up on the wall right here. You could easily get shot through the wall. Again, I'm not a fan, would not do it. This is a very deliberate entry. We're not talking dynamic today. I would stack up just like that, just like it's a hallway, right? You can do it one of two ways. If number one man could breach, he could reach forward, he could push a door, and then step back and let the room breathe. As that door opens to this position, as he's pushed that door, let it breathe for a few minutes, right? Not a few minutes, just a couple seconds, really. Just push the door open, no bullets are flying out. He would then pan to center check, whatever you want to call it. Okay, and then the number one man has seen all of this from his center check. He would then come in, turn, check the door. What I mean is we give it a good little bump to check to make sure there's nobody hiding here. And also, as that door opens, he could look through the crack. Look in the crack. He could look right between the door and the door jamb. There's a little gap there. So as he pushed that door, he could look here, visually check. There's nobody behind the door. And even when he comes in, give it a good check. And then he could come down here to his point of domination. At the same time, number two man's going to come in, basically run the rabbit down. Number three man's going to come in over here. Number four man's going to come in over here. Okay, so his sector of fire is going to be down here, over to here. His is here, off to this man, here to here, here to here. So man, we've got this room covered for fields of fire, right? So that's one scenario to run this room, okay? One more option here. Doors here, right? We're stacked up on this side right here to come in. Number one man keeps his gun on the door. Okay, even though it's opening the wrong way, he keeps his gun at number two man would come up. He would reach around. It's not a Navy thing, so don't freak out. He would reach around. He would grab the handle, push it open, while number one man keeps his gun on security, following that door open. So as it opens, he's got his gun. He can keep his gun in the door. That door opens all the way. The door is here. Number one man steps center, checks for threats, comes in, hooks. Number three man comes in, runs a rabbit. Number four man, as he's coming in, he's going to pick up last man, which was the breacher. He's going to come in and go here. Number four man goes here, comes in. Another scenario that I wouldn't mind doing. Okay, now these are very deliberate entries. We really didn't get into too dynamic here. We can cover that later. We'll cover that later in another video. How's that? What if they come here and that door's shut and locked? Normally we'd pull the door to get the air gap out, turn the handle, push it open. What if we pull the gap, door's locked? Another scenario. Let's think about that. You guys think about that? Post some comments on how you would breach it with a locked door. And we will cover that in another video. But these are just two scenarios on how I would run this room. I'm not going to get in. You could stand in front if you had a ballistic shield. You could do that. We're not really going to get into that. This was just a very deliberate four-man entry, okay? And other things set aside. We're not worried about dead space in our room. We're just trying to figure out the safest way to get through this door. The other reason that I would stack up here, when you open this door and let it breathe, okay, door's open, it's breathing, making sure no bullets are flying out. If bullets do come flying out this door, say there's hostiles in here, the bullets are flying out, bullets are going to go through the door first, and they could come through this wall. How a house is built, right in the corner here is a lot of extra studs to build a corner of a house, and you got extra studs in the door jamb. Does provide a little bit of cover. So that's another reason I would stack up like this, okay? We got a little bit of cover by the corner, by the framing work. When you let the room breathe, it's not minutes. It's literally pushing the door open in just a couple seconds, make sure no bullets are flying out. Then we step center and make our entry that way. So there's my take on it. 2 ways entry, very deliberate entry. And we'll cover dynamic. And let me know how you do it with a locked door. Thanks, everybody.